Oh man, look at that. I was 8 years old in San Antonio, Texas. I didn't speak a word of English when I went to the first grade. I spoke with a heavy accent. People would make fun of that. And yet I had a dream, even back then. You know, you would listen to the radio and I wanted to be on the radio, and the dream came true. So this is really special. When I came back to school, my teachers would say, "You're not college material. What gives you the audacity to think you're college material? No one in your family has ever gone to college. You speak with a funny Mexican accent. Your folks don't have much money. How could you go to college? You should try wood shop or metal shop or auto mechanics." That's what my own counselors would tell me. But thank God for my mother, Maria, man. She was the one who kept inspiring and motivating and pushing. My mother would say, "Mijo, my son, mijo, what matters is what's in here, in your cabeza, in your brain, and what's in here, in your corazón, in your heart." And that's what kept me going. Whoa, look at this handsome young devil. That was my first job as a TV reporter right out of school. I remember I was one of the first Latinos on national television. There were just a handful, maybe 2 or 3. And at ABC, I was hired to cover Latin America. Ironically enough, the kid who used to be punished for speaking Spanish in school wound up getting his network job at ABC because I spoke Spanish.
Here's ABC's John Quiñones.
I remember one time I had an interview with the president of Nicaragua, Daniel Ortega, which was a big deal. So I called Peter Jennings in New York, and I said, "Peter, I have an exclusive interview with Daniel Ortega." And Peter said, "Fine, young man." I don't think he even knew my name. So I hang up the phone with Peter, and the phone rings again, and it's the president of Nicaragua canceling my interview, his office. So now I'm shaking in my boots because I got to call New York and tell Peter Jennings, and I expected to be yelled at, right, or fired. Instead, Peter Jennings gave me some advice that I carry with me to this very day. Don't worry so much about talking to the movers and shakers of the world. Concentrate instead on talking to the moved and the shaken. Give a voice to people who don't have a voice, Peter Jennings said, and you'll be a better reporter. And I carried that advice with me today.
John Quiñones, ABC News, Panama City.
Oh, wow, look at this. This is me and my wife Deanna at the Emmys. It was a great honor to be inducted into the Gold Circle at the Emmys for having all these years worked in broadcasting. One of my favorite stories in Latin America was I was covering a presidential election in Colombia, in Bogota. But looking at my hotel window, I saw some children running around the streets of Bogota. They had glue on their sleeves and they would inhale it and get high. And then I saw them at night open the manhole covers on the streets of Bogota and climb down into the sewers. I asked the woman who worked for us in Colombia, "Who are those kids?" She goes, "They're runaways, castaways, children nobody wants." And I said, "Is anyone trying to help them?" And she said, "Well, there's one man." So we met this hero, and I said, "Take us down there, please." And we went, and he with cameras, and we filmed the story on the children of the sewers.
How long will you continue doing this?
Forever. Forever, as far as I am alive. Forever. Buenas noches.
We brought the story back, and the day after it aired on Primetime Live, American viewers sent in $1 million in donations. And Jaime Jaramillo, this hero in Colombia, was able to pull the children all out of the sewers. And it tells you the impact of the camera, you know? When you shine the light, in this case, on the darkest corners of the world, that illumination can bring solutions and hope. Oh, this is really, really touching, because we spent a year covering the story in Uvalde, the tragic mass shooting at Robb Elementary, where 19 third graders were killed and 2 teachers. And this is very touching because my son, Nico, was also there filming, doing camera work and producing for us. He even spent more time than I did. But the two of us there together, you know, it was just a reminder of how precious life can be and how precious families are. There would be times when we would be doing an interview and Nico, my son, would be filming me and I'm filming, another camera's filming the subject, and families are telling me and grieving about the loss of their loved ones. And I would look at Nico and he would be in tears and I would be tearing up because we knew how precious it was to be together and still have each other. Wow.
John Quiñones.
Wow, this is like 17 years ago.
Welcome to the opening show of our primetime series, What Would You Do?
It was a novel idea. Let's do something with hidden cameras where we test people, you know, and their ethics and their morals. And this was the very first one, man. That's great. You know, when we started, we said, you know, we'll probably run out of ideas. I mean, how many can you do? And here we are, 17 years later, we've done more than 1,000 different scenarios, and we're still going strong because there's never a shortage of people doing the wrong thing. The key, the experts tell us, is to stop yourself before when you meet someone and you presume the worst. Stop yourself, give a few seconds and realize that that fellow human being wants probably the same things you want. And if you're able to stop yourself just for a few seconds, you will be less judgmental.
I said, oh, this is going to be a John Quiñones moment.
It restores your faith in humanity, the show. It reminds you that despite all the bad out there, there's still a lot of good, because in every one of our scenarios, in the end, someone steps in and does the right thing. And sometimes it's the person you would least expect. I want to continue testing people's character. And character is not what you do when everyone's watching. That's easy. True character is what you do even when you think that nobody's watching. And I love being able to illuminate that in this country.
This is John Quiñones. It's What Would You Do?
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.